Welcome to part 2 of the Gain Ground commentary. And, World 2 is gonna be... It's just gonna be more the same fish. You just keep shooting things. Now, one thing I do find funny, like, the shot system of the enemies, they never usually change. The shots never change, the weapons never change, even their health bars, like, it's not even until, like, round 5 that... Well, round 5, world 5, whatever the duck you want to call it, 5. Their health bars don't even go up until world 5. And in world 5, all the health bars are at least like doubled or tripled. So you have a decent challenge. Even the arcade version, I don't even think had beefy health bars for enemies between rounds 2 and 4. And I find that to be pretty saddening. I would have liked having a much better challenge. When I play hard mode, I expect to have a massive array of enemies with harder health bars, but that's not the case with this game. You're not giving me a challenge, Sega. Give me a good challenge with good enemies, good weapons, and actually decent health bars. It gets annoying after a while, I won't lie, I don't like it one bit. I honestly didn't know which one I was going to go for here, but I decided to go with German Flamethrower. Since for some reason he can implode Trojan walls with his fire. Dick Cheney. Yes, fire Dick Cheneys. If you don't know where I'm getting the reference for the fire Dick Cheneys, go to Brain Scratch Com's Rockman 7 playthrough. You'll find it there. Obviously, it's gonna be Dick Cheney without the Cheney, but you know. You know, I swear to God, I'm like the only guy that does Dick Cheney jokes on the web. And actually, see, like, nobody... Like, people find it funny, it's just that nobody decided to make it popular. I'm the only person that's making Dick Cheney jokes, but I'm not really ranting on Dick Cheney when I do it. I'm just calling it Dick Cheney because it's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, what else could you call something that has the letter D in it? You obviously know what other word I could possibly use, but then again, I don't like using that word, so I decided to use Dick Cheney instead. If none of you understand what I'm going with here, then, pay more attention to me when I use Dick Cheney jokes, because that, in my case, would be a Dick Cheney move if you failed. Failed meaning that you don't understand me at all in this case. But I digress, back to the game. More of the same fish. We're just doing the same thing. This game suffers from Sonic 06 syndrome, Superman 64 syndrome, that kind of crap. It's just more of the same thing. Oh yes, this is the stage, this is the stage where I end up, like, losing 10 or 11 people. And it's because of one particular problem. This stage was not made to destroy every enemy. Yeah. Even though, yes, I know that you can't destroy... You see, those two enemies in the upper right corner... They are near duck impossible to do. They are near impossible to kill. And I don't see how to kill them. I've tried using all the high shot characters, and none of them work. The bomb characters don't work, Rocket Man here doesn't work, all the spear enemies, all the spear characters don't work, Gilius Thunderhead doesn't work. I don't know how to kill those two up top. And again, I know that you're supposed to be using the high shots, the high shot characters, but it doesn't seem to be working. So what am I supposed to do? See, you can't shoot any further up, so I have to figure out what am I gonna do. There's literally no way. I would figure what you would have to do is you'd have to be right there on the side, like to the far left side of... God dang it, I got killed. Come on, Gilius Thunderhead, help me out here. So, yeah. And again, the spirit characters can't even shoot that high, not even the bow characters at all. But they're archers, aren't they? Aren't they supposed to be able to shoot that high? Ugh. And here's one of the bomb characters. In fact, this is the best of the bomb characters because she can shoot in all directions. Normally when you start off easy or normal mode, you actually get only 3 characters. But it does get a bit confusing when you don't really get to use them normally, but you know. And trust me, I tried everybody. Not even Beast can kill them. See? There is literally no way that you're able to shoot your spear or anything up that wall. It's as if you're not even supposed to. But whatever. I tried to at least get my best characters out of there. Couldn't save the guy who shoots fireballs, but I at least got Rocket Man 2 out of there in due time. I don't know. I don't suck at this game. Keep in mind, I don't suck at this game. It's just the difficulty is just so amped up. It's one of those games that you just can't think of. It's one of those games you can't even think of trying to beat. It's not a game that I would recommend constantly replaying over and over again to see how high of a score you can get. But yeah. By the way, Tornado Man's like the last magic character I get out of there. Because, watch here, yep, Boba Fett dies. Yes, that was a Boba Fett look-alike. I do not know why Boba Fett was in this stage, but he was there, and I had the chance to say him. I had the chance to say that he was there. So, whatever. Yeah, I think for the rest of this, I actually used Rocket Man 2 because he's the only good character that I was able to save. I didn't want to save too many good characters because they all... Because, I mean, though, yes, I know that I could have used them here, they're slow as duck, and there's no way I could possibly even get even the chance to save them. If I ended up saving them all, then I believe that... Though, yes, I would have a fighting chance, it would possibly kill my chances of getting them all out regardless if something happens. Luckily, that wasn't the factor with the rest of this world, so... yeah. And after that, decided to cheese my way through this and use Bomb Woman. You know, funny enough, for a general audiences rated game, I think this was when the VRC came out, but yeah, though yes, this game is rated GA for general audiences, figuring 6 and up, or basically available for everybody, sort of like TVG is. No wait, TVG is for people 6 and over. I'm sorry. But yeah, in the sense that this game is rated GA, this game has a lot of cleavage when you see the animations. And what is this? Are the archers humping something? What is this? What is this blasphemy that you call... Why are there Zelda characters in my game ground? Why are there underwater Zelda dragons that shoot fireballs in my game ground? Nintendo? Did you have any contribution with this game? I highly doubt it, but if you did, I want answers. Now you think all the enemies are gone, right? Wrong. You just have to keep going up and constantly shooting these bastards. What? They are bastards. Their wives, I mean not their wives, yeah, their fathers' wives left them, so their fathers have to keep training them to be better soldiers. That's the scenario that happened here. And, okay, yeah, this is the point where we get to see enemies to have 2 hits, at least regular enemies anyways. But what's up with these knights that are poking their swords upward? they're doing it in a very suggestive manner. If you saw this from the side, you would understand what I'm talking about, but oh god. Suggestive themes in my game ground? Blasphemy! In fact, as far as I know, most Sega games don't usually have suggestive themes. So this is actually a downside on their part. This was actually not good. I didn't like that. I don't like having suggestive themes in my Sega games. Sega deserves to be boycotted for that. But no, not really. I'm just trying to say, like, just be careful what you put in your video game. I mean, of course, I'm gonna be working on games in due time, but hey, because I actually plan on creating a console. Yes, I plan on creating a console. Without a doubt, one of the best ideas I've ever thought of. I plan on at least having a whole bunch of games with suggestive themes that are actually funny, not offensive, and enjoyable. But we'll get to that when I get to that. Nevertheless, if you had already noticed, this stage has Wizrobes. Yes, Wizrobes of all characters. Again, I question: was this game partially made by Nintendo? Because only Nintendo would put Wizrobes in their game. In fact, I haven't really even bothered playing Skyward Sword lately, or Twilight Princess Wii, or any of those later Zelda titles. I haven't played them in a while. Oh god, more Wizrobes. And what I would like to ask here is, do the Wizrobes return in any other game? Do the Wizrobes return for the modern day Zelda titles, or are they just not there anymore? Are they just a thing in the past? Or are they the link to the past? Oh! Now that I just said that, somebody needs to make a fan game called The Legend of Wizrobes, A Link to the Past. And no, don't hack The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Just make the game where you play as Wizrobes. Have them have the ability to teleport and do all the crazy crap that they were able to do in other Zelda titles. If they were in other Zelda titles, aside from the first one. I don't believe that Wizrobes were in Zelda 2. I never even got that far in Zelda 2 to find out. And, yeah. Oh yeah, these gel enemies. Apparently they're called, slimes. Yeah, the only reason why these slime enemies exist were because of Phantasy Star. Yeah, in Phantasy Star and sort of Vermilion, they had these slime enemies that would potentially give you damage if they touched you. But in sort of Vermilion, they dropped it so that slimes, like green slimes, only give you 1 health point of damage. In Phantasy Star, they give you about 3 health points of damage when Alice doesn't have her armor on properly. And that can get a bit annoying when you're very low in health, like I normally am when I play the first Phantasy Star. Phantasy Star 2, I never usually lose health unless if I'm very underleveled. Phantasy Star 3, I'm horrible as duck at the game. So what I have to do is I have to keep save stating with that title. In fact, I think that's how I'll do it when I get to Phantasy Star 3, whenever the duck that is. And Phantasy Star 4, I'm never usually bad with health. I'm never bad with health in Phantasy Star 4. But if I'm doing an underleveled run, then that's another story. Aside from that, I'm actually pretty good at the game. I have the most experience with Phantasy Star 4. I can't say that for 1, 2, and 3. 2 was the... No, I actually beat the game in an odd order. I never beat 3, I never beat 1. I'm actually still going through 1 on my Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection save. I probably might do that for the channel sooner or later. I don't know if I will definitively, but since I will get the Phantasy Star titles out of the way, might as well get the first one done too, right? So yeah, never beat 1, never beat 3. I completed 4 first, and then I completed 2. Now you might wonder, why did I complete 4 first? It was only because it was the game that I had bothered completing earlier than 2, even though I had played 2 before playing 4. But 2, I just couldn't for the life of me figure out how to survive. I mean, after I learned how all the techniques work in Phantasy Star 4, I thought, okay, now I'll give Phantasy Star 2 a shot, seeing that the techniques are the same. No, the techniques aren't all the same, because in Phantasy Star 2 there was this ability known as Sack, and Sack and Naysack, what is it? Sack and Naysack. Nevertheless, the techniques would cause your healing character to kill themselves in order to heal up another character. So it's pretty much just, hey, I know that I need your help, or I know you need my help. So what I'll do is, I will transfer all my energy to you in order to save you and the rest of the team. You can revive me later if you have the ability Reaver in your possession. And I thought, okay, that was a decent shot, and yeah. The only thing is I had to kill a character. You know I don't like having my characters die in Phantasy Star games, or any RPG in that matter. Final Fantasy, I'm looking at you. Well, Mystic Quest is understandable, because Mystic Quest is easy. Well, no, Mystic Quest is hard to die in. Final Fantasy VI, hard to die in. Final Fantasy V, though, easy to die in. Yes, Final Fantasy V is actually easier to die in than Final Fantasy VI. Wow, I went off on an odd tangent. Now, you see that knight that I'm shooting here, who looks like Death Adder from Golden Axe? Again, if you're standing down here, you can cheese your way out of the battle pretty dang quickly. As you just saw what I did, all I had to do is just keep shooting missiles and shooting my bullets at the Wizrobes, regarding that I don't get hit, of course. So, yeah, fun times. I was able to somewhat save myself, the remainder of the people in this level, and get through within the next 100 seconds. Within the next 100 seconds, meaning that I take more than the time that I'm given. Well, not really more than the time that I'm given, but let's just say that the timer will not hit 33 when this part of the stage is over. These things are really annoying. I hate Wizrobes. At least I don't let them kill me. I always, like, when I played The Legend of Zelda for the first time, or... No, it wasn't The Legend of Zelda that I had trouble with the Wizrobes in. It was the Tower of Druaga by Namco. Yes, the arcade 2D side-scroller labyrinth game. I hated every single time that I would probably be killed by a Wizrobe in that game. And here's why. I didn't have my shield. All I was doing was, I was holding my sword out and constantly trying to pierce the bloody bastards to death. Yeah, at this point I can pretty much just say every enemy that's in a castle is a bastard. Here's what I figure. Their father died or something, or their mother divorced their father, and they ended up having the son being trained to become a Wizrobe, shooting waves of energy and other crap. You know, I'd be baffled if that was the situation. And, die, you piercing knights, whatever the duck your name are. At least you're not, Cotton Eye Joe, or whatever the duck his name is, quote Clement. But yeah, that game gave me the hardest time. Eventually, back in 2006, I actually ended up getting better at the Tower of Druaga, and I got to level 15. I won't lie, level 15 is a pain in the bass. Pain in the bass. Bass. Doc. AVGN reference if you couldn't figure that one out on the first try. But, yeah. I always hated Wizrobes. Never will like them. End of story. Nevertheless, I'm only going to show off stages 20. Yeah, I'm only going to show off stage 21 here because stage 22 is going to be done in another part. But yeah, these sandworms are pretty annoying. These sandworms pop up just like the Wizrobes at random, and they shoot these little bugger creatures. I'm figuring they're scorpions, so you have to really be careful of where you're shooting. And it can get pretty annoying at times. It's killed me a pretty dang lot, and I don't like it whatsoever. But nevertheless, that's the end of the part, I see. So I shall see you in part 3. See you then.